So, firstly, I would like to lead off with saying when most people think about urbanization, they think of all of the glamorous aspects and how they affect us humans. Big businesses, skyscrapers, lights, festivals, foods, transportation, highways, all of that. But what people often fail to think about is how these urbanization, how it affects animal life and how it affects the ecosystem and how it affects the planet as a whole that we live on, which I believe is a very important issue if we want to keep living here. So I would first like to go into migrational patterns and how they're affected by urbanization, followed by pollutions such as garbage, air, light pollution, and how that negatively impacts the environment that we live in, that animals live in, that plants like these live in. This is my visual aid, some bamboo. And finally, some things that we possibly could do to help combat the effects urbanization have on our planet. So, urbanization is a large cause of land transformation, lots of roads that are blocking migration patterns, keeping animals from moving around normally. And this often interferes with breeding, with food, migration, and this in turn negatively impacts the animal population and causes there to be less of them, such as deer, carnivores, bobcats, other animals. If there are less of them, then the entire food chain will be disrupted, and that would lead to a negative impact on the environment, according to Lewis, which is the author of the article that I got this information from. Moving on to pollution and how that affects the environment. A lot of cities, urban cities, restaurants, businesses that run in urbanized areas, they leave behind waste, which, for example, plastic could end up in the stomachs of animals, which could kill them, which would, again, disrupt the food chain because there would be less of a certain animal. And you don't want that chemicals getting into the water supply. And a main issue is plastic garbage, according to Lay, is another author of one of the articles that I searched. Plastic is quickly filling up natural areas, oceans, forests, and it's causing a big problem, and we need to do something about it. And physical garbage isn't the only thing that we need to worry about as far as pollution. There's also light and sound pollution that can contribute to a lot of animals, especially birds. Personally, my grandparents, they had a lot of bird feeders in their backyard, and they used to have lots and lots of birds back there. But as Columbus continued to develop, there are less birds, less variety of them, and they believe that light and air pollution contributed to that and disrupted their migration patterns. And finally, as far as things that we can do to combat it, an writer Abrahams, of an article that I read, spoke about the behavioral spillover effect, which basically it means once people start to do one thing that's environmentally conscious, they begin to see themselves as someone that cares about the environment, and they'll do more things to kind of try to preserve the planet. So in general, we just need to be mindful and keep every little thing counts as far as helping out with the pollution issue, as far as how it affects natural life. from urbanization. In conclusion, urbanization negatively affects the ecosystem and animal life because of altered migration patterns, physical pollution, and et cetera, et cetera. And this is a very important topic that needs to be addressed, which can be done so through small things such as putting some water bottles in a recycling bin. And every little thing counts. But that concludes my speech. Thank you for listening, and you have a great day.